Welcome, everyone. Well, we have a real treat for you all week. We're invited down by Chris Gibson. Yes, ex-Congressman Chris Gibson, Colonel Chris Gibson, author Chris Gibson, and now President of Siena College, Chris Gibson. And we started talking, we had so much to talk about that we were going to break this interview into two parts within the same program. So here's part one, and I'll be back for part two. Welcome back, everyone. Well, in prepping for my interview today, I really came to this conclusion. There are people that do absolutely incredible things with their lives, and then there's us who get the chance to interview the people that do incredible things. And I'm going to tell you why I said this is because I'm going to introduce you to Colonel Gibson, or maybe I should say Congressman Gibson.
Well, I go by
maybe
Chris.
I could say author Gibson. It all adds up to Patriot, Chris Gibson. We got to start someplace. First, welcome. It's really great to see
Jesse,
you. Jesse,
first let me welcome you to Siena College.
Well, thank you very much.
Excited to have you here.
Well, we're very excited to be here. And the reason we're here is that Chris recently found out that he is the new president of Siena College. Quite an accomplishment, Chris. What was that vetting process like?
Well, thank you, first of all, for this opportunity and to have this this moment to communicate not only with you, but I have amazing memories of my time representing the incredible people of the greater Glens Falls area, the North Country, and so having this moment to interview with Jesse brings back actually a lot of memories are flooding. Yeah. The process actually was it was quite exhausting, I must tell you. It took place over about 4 months' time. I had multiple interviews, and I had to produce a cover letter, an updated resume, and so my first step, once I had submitted, is I had to go through a Zoom interview, which is a lot like FaceTime. That's right. But candidly, I'd never done a Zoom interview before, so I had to download the software, work my way through that, and I was put through the paces pretty good. It's about a half-hour interview, and I wanted to know why I was interested, what I was able to bring to the table for Siena College, what challenges I had in my life, what I learned from failure, a lot of things that really cause you to think. And so fortunately, I made it through that first process, and so I became a semifinalist. And so the semifinalists were about, I think, 8 of us. And I must say, I didn't know who the other 7 were, and even to this moment, I don't know who the other candidates were, but I'm told there were about close to 80 candidates from across the country. This was a national search. It did include, I'm told, some sitting presidents now of colleges and some sitting provosts. And so when I made it to the semifinalist phase, that was a very extensive interview over a couple hours with a search committee. So the search committee is drawn from throughout the campus here and beyond. So it's not only board of trustees, but it's also faculty and staff, including key administrators. This is a Franciscan institution, so we had really strong representation from the Franciscan friar community, and and students as well. We had a student, especially selected student that was on the search committee. So in that, I had to do extensive reading before that. I had hundreds of pages, probably 400 to 500 pages worth of documents that give you a lot of background about Siena. The last accreditation it went through, including the strengths, some of the challenges here at Siena. The whole process was very transparent. Siena wanted all the candidates to know all the amazing facets of Siena, but also the challenges that we have. And so I had to study all those documents and, where we draw our revenues, where our expenditures are, what about the dynamics here inside the institution. And so I prepared for the interview. And so they put you through the paces pretty good in the interview.
Well, you're talking about one of the most highly respected private colleges in the country.
I believe that. Yeah.
And we talked before we went on camera. I'm an alum of Fairfield, the Jesuits. But to have such I think that the college was founded in like 1937 or something, right?
Yeah. Right.
Franciscan-based liberal arts, business, science. I mean, the kind of education that when you really just stop and take a moment, you realize that it's so important, and it's very unique. You know, it's really quite a responsibility.
Well, absolutely. I look at what's going on today in the country, and like a lot of Americans, I'm concerned about how divided we are, the vitriol and the way that we communicate, especially in the social media realm. And you know, I find too many Americans that are really of the mind that maybe this is too hard. Maybe we're not able to come back together and get us back on the right track. I don't believe that for a moment. I mean, I think our best days are still in front of us, but this is what calls me to this job. Because you know, when I look and see the challenges we have in this country, I think we need more saints.
Yes.
We need more Siena saints. And why do I say that? It's, you know, here at Siena, we're really dialed in. We have a laser focus. This is a Franciscan institution. We are focused on whole person development. Right. Intellectual, absolutely, intellectual development, but also physical development, moral, ethical development, religious development, and spiritual development. Because we believe that whole person development really puts a person in a place to lead in whatever their chosen field is. When they're imbued with these Franciscan values, they find themselves, I believe they have a high level of emotional intelligence, and so they're able to be self-aware, self-regulate. They have high levels of motivation. They have tremendous levels of empathy, and then that all cultivates into social skill, and social skill is the key piece of leadership. And that's why when I look at the challenges today, we're focused in on producing high-quality graduates with these Franciscan values ready to lead. And I think they're already making a difference. You take a look at the Capital District area, and I would tell you, you show a particular industry area, and you'll find a leader there, and that leader probably graduated from Siena College.
Yeah, that's right. Well, William Kennedy comes to mind immediately, and I'm sure there
absolutely
there are a lot of others.
Well, you know, even in the North Country, you know, I think about you know, Murphy.
Well, you're a graduate of Siena College.
I'm a graduate of Siena. It made a huge difference in my life.
Yes, I know. Well, I told you we had a lot to talk about, so please stay tuned for part 2.